What's up guys, in recent times there have been a lot of anime remakes which got me thinking which anime have succeeded in those remakes and which anime have failed. So let's quickly dive into that. Let's start off with one of the first and most iconic ones, Hunter x Hunter. One of the most notable differences between the two versions would be the animation and the visuals. The 1999 adaptation has a more traditional art style, and it's characterized more by its darker color palette for that time and a rougher aesthetic. The animation, while solid for its time, may appear dated by today's standards. On the other hand, the 2011 version remake boasts updated visuals, vibrant colors, and smoother animation. The art style is also more polished and appealing to modern audiences, with improved character designs and detailed backgrounds. The fight scenes specifically benefit greatly from the enhanced animation, so it feels much more visually appealing to watch. Another thing to consider was the original content in the 1999 series, which diverged a bit from the manga, mainly because there wasn't as much content and they needed to add more original content. This altered some character development, and while this approach added depth to certain aspects of the story, it deviated a bit from the original manga. And in terms of pacing, that makes the 2011 remake much better because there isn't any extra content, so it's moving at a faster pace and it condenses certain arcs and it maintains a consistent momentum. This tighter pacing makes the narrative flow more smoothly and it ensures that the viewers remain engaged and immersed. Not to mention, the 2011 version contains extra arcs that the 1999 version did not animate, which makes that story even more appealing because it covers one of the most important arcs of the story. The next anime that I wanted to talk about is the Rurouni Kenshin Meiji Kenkaku Romantan remake. We are literally just getting this remake at summer 2023, and this offers an opportunity for new fans as well as old fans to experience a story with updated visuals and potentially enhanced storytelling. The only lacking thing in my opinion is the sound quality and the soundtrack in general. It makes me very sad to think that we won't have iconic moments like Hiko Seijuro's appearance being accompanied by amazing tracks. Look at this, for example. Remakes' improved animation can make the overall viewing experience much better, especially given that there are a lot of intense sword fights and captivating moments, so I'm looking forward to that. And especially I'm curious to see how they animate certain characters. For example, Seta Sojiro, he has an insane amount of speed, and the way they animated it before was similar to how Dragon Ball Z animated the instant transmission, so I'm curious to see how they animate that now. Speaking of Dragon Ball Z, that was another remake that was turned into Dragon Ball Kai. So Dragon Ball Z is a monumental anime series. I'm pretty sure almost everyone that watches anime has watched Dragon Ball Z, but Dragon Ball Kai aimed to condense that story, removing filler episodes and improving pacing. The result was a more streamlined version that allowed fans to enjoy the basic narrative without unnecessary padding. Dragon Ball Kai's remastered visuals and re-recorded soundtrack also improved the art and animation, though I think the original was still really good. In my opinion, Kai is great, not because of the animation improvement, but mainly because the pacing was much better and the fillers were all removed. Another very iconic anime that was remade was the Fullmetal Alchemist anime remade into Brotherhood. Now, the original Fullmetal Alchemist had a lot of issues, however it was also pretty good. However, that was as good as it could get. It was not as good as the masterpiece that Brotherhood was. The original diverged from the source material because the manga at the time did not have enough content, so the story was very, very different from what Brotherhood is, which is a more faithful adaptation to the original story. And Brotherhood's animation as well as art style is much more vibrant and more interesting to look at compared to the original Fullmetal Alchemist because it was at a more earlier time where animation wasn't as good. So to summarize, Fullmetal Alchemist, the original animation, was simply just good. However, Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, since it follows the original masterpiece of the manga, is also a masterpiece. Now, another anime that was recently remade was the Fruits Basket anime. So Fruits Basket was remade in 2019, where now the visuals were upgraded vastly with much better art as well as animation, which made this feel much more of a recent anime than what the original felt like, which felt like a 1990s anime. And another thing to note is that the original Fruits Basket animation did not have enough source material to finish the story, similar to Fullmetal Alchemist, so they also had a anime exclusive ending. So The 2019 adaptation, with the manga finally being finished with a very satisfactory ending to most readers, is much more faithful to the original adaptation, so the story is much better in my opinion, and we do finally get a conclusion to the Fruits Basket series. It's been over a decade, so the 2019 version with its enhanced visuals as well as storytelling allows fans to re-experience what they felt back when they originally watched the anime, as well as introducing and appealing the series to a more modern and new fanbase. Now, the final anime on this list, I wasn't really sure if I should add this because this is a movie versus a TV adaptation. I'm talking about Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works. The original Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works movie had good visuals and a good story, however they condensed it very much into a more concise format to fit a movie setting, so the TV adaptation has a much more comprehensive exploration of the source material, and it's also animated by ufotable, which is very well known for their animation and fight scenes, so the Unlimited Blade Works TV adaptation feels much more better than the original animation. Not to mention, the movie was originally back in the early 2000s, so the animation quality is not as good as it is today. And like I mentioned, the story is not condensed in the TV adaptation, so the ending feels much more satisfying to watch, as well as makes a lot more sense because there is a lot more build up towards that ending, and it also explains it much better in my opinion. Honestly, I think it's okay to skip the original Unlimited Blade Works unless you are very interested in the original soundtrack for that, which is also a banger, in which case I would definitely recommend giving both the original movie as well as the new TV adaptation a watch. So to end things off, I feel like it's a good thing that a lot of old anime are getting remakes because it makes the animation much more visually appealing to look at, and the storytelling as well as soundtrack could be much better compared to what the original was. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I do appreciate all that did make it through to the end. Please do like, comment, and subscribe. I will be making a new video to summarize what my top 10 anime for the summer 2023 anime season is, so be on the lookout for that. Make sure you hit the notification bell. Thanks, bye.